What's going on, guys? Nick Foy here, the founder of AskNickFoy.com and the founder of GolfPracticeGuides.com, my niche website in the golf space where I help golfers. That's one of my passions, and once I built that successful website, I started the Ask Nick Foy brand to teach you guys what was working, what wasn't working, and kind of show you what I've been doing to try to grow that brand. So today we're going to be highlighting the Pinterest profile, and I'm going to be sharing updates that were made for 2019 so that you're up to date with everything this year. So starting off with the profile, you're going to notice this tilted banner up here that highlights different pins in a tilted fashion. So this can actually be edited using this little edit pencil. You can choose to just show your latest pins, your recent activity, which is pins that people have saved from your claimed website and linked accounts. Or you could pick a board. So if I wanted to use my blog, all the different pins I upload to that board, I could select it as well. So right now I've just got it set on latest pins. So whenever I upload new pins to my Pinterest account, then that's going to repopulate this banner to update with new pins. Now, additionally, you're going to have your profile photo here. You want to use a professional profile photo that represents your brand. So if it's a personal brand where it's your name, then you might have a photo of yourself. If it's a brand, that doesn't reflect your name or that doesn't need a photo of you, then you can, use a logo or some other type of photo. But you want a clear, crisp, clean, professional photo to kind of make your profile seem authentic. When people are searching your pins out in the search feed, they're going to come across and take a peek at what the profile photo looks like to make sure it's not a spammy account, because there's a lot of spam that goes on Pinterest. Next, you've got your profile name over here. So my profile name for this account just represents my golf brand name. However, for my personal brand, Ask Nick Foy, where I teach marketing and I've got marketing pins, that's got my name, Nick Foy, and then a line, and then it will say, marketing expert. So for example, if you are a fitness trainer, you would have your name, in my case, Nick Foy, and then a line to separate them, and then it would say fitness trainer. That way your profile name represents who you are, what your profile is about, and that's going to increase the likelihood that people click through to your profile to check out your boards and your pins. All right, so underneath your profile name, we could see the monthly viewers here. So this is how many people see your pins show up in the feeds. So when people are using the search bar up here at the top, or they're out on their home feed, scrolling down, looking at pins that are populated on the home feed, they're going to come across your pins that show up occasionally. So that's how you can judge if your viewership is growing. You can monitor this. It updates, I think, once per week. So you'll see the same number the entire week, and then at the end of the week, it'll update with a new number. And obviously the goal is to try to keep growing your monthly viewership each week. Now, golf is a seasonal sport. Right now we are in the winter or the off season, so my numbers are still high, and a lot of you would take these kind of numbers, but traditionally I've been up in the 250,000 to 400,000 range, so I'm at about half of that right now. But again, this is expected because it's the golf off season, and this number has been climbing steadily. It was down around 120, 130, and now we're up to 150. All right, underneath here, we've got the website, and you can see the little check mark saying this website's been claimed. So when you first set up your Pinterest profile and you go into your settings, which we can click the three little dots here for settings, we can go into the settings button right here. It's going to open up the behind the scenes settings. You're going to scroll down and find the website URL section. You're going to enter your website, and then you're going to want to click verify, and it's going to ask you to paste some HTML code into your website. So if you're not familiar with how to do that, there's lots of tutorials on that on YouTube. I've even created one, I believe, on how to verify your website if you go back and look through my channel. But that's just going to basically tell Pinterest that you actually do own your website, and then you're going to be able to track views, clicks to your website in the Pinterest analytics under the website section right here. If you don't claim your website, then you're only going to be able to see profile statistics and people you reach statistics. So it's a good thing to try to get your website claimed right away, and you can monitor analytics like how many times people are saving pins from your website. If you've got different images on your website, people reading your blog post, they'll come over to Pinterest and pin those for you, as well as all the pins that you're manually uploading yourself to your Pinterest profile. Lastly, we've got the description of your profile over here that tells people what you're about, why they should follow you. So for example, I'm a scratch golfer. I run an online golf community of 35,000 and my website's golfpracticeguides.com. Come join us. So it's pretty straight to the point. There's a limited amount of characters, so you need to rewrite it a few times until you can concisely tell somebody what it's about and the amount of characters that you have. All right, a few things to note about your profile name and your description is that these will help you rank in the search engine. So for example, if I started to type in golf practice, since my name has golf practice in it, my profile comes up here under people. You can also see boards. It starts to pop up some different boards that use the words golf practice. So again, these are my boards that are popping up. And then for pin examples, somebody could click on any of these and it's going to show them different pins that have these keywords, golf practice, or that relate to these keywords. So if you want to optimize your profile for search so that people can not only find your pins, but they can also find your boards and your profile under the people section of search, then you want to use some different keywords. So that goes back to my point. If you're a fitness trainer, then you want to use your name, of course, so that people know who you are personally, but you also want to include some extra keywords in your name description that says fitness trainer or, fitness, exercises, workouts, add a couple extra keywords. Same with your description here. I use the word golfer. I could do a better job, I guess, of using words golf, golf practice, golf tips in my description if I wanted to. But this is the description I've run with for right now. But that would be an example. Again, if you're a fitness trainer, you could mention the words fitness, trainer, workouts, exercise, different keywords that people are going to be typing into their search bar. All right, so those are the tips that I have for you to optimize your profile for search using a good profile name, profile description, and verifying your website to tell Pinterest that you own this website. And then they can pull data from your website to kind of learn more what you're about, and that will help you again rank in Pinterest. Now down here we're going to go over these different tabs. So we've got the overview tab now. This is different. Again, Pinterest has changed the design of your Pinterest profile. So the overview tab, somebody can quickly look at your featured boards. So you can pick a couple different boards you want featured here, and they're going to rotate as you can see here, or somebody can automatically do it on their own with the slideshow buttons. So just click the little edit sign here and you can pick which 4 boards, which you can see these 4 different dots right here that you want to highlight as your featured boards. Scrolling on down, we've got the promote a pin section. So this is Pinterest's chance to try to get you to promote your pins so they can make some money, so that you can grow your reach, you can grow your followers, and if you're promoting product pins, you can make some sales. I've seen some different reports out there that you can make $2 for every $1 you spend on promoted pins. I don't know how accurate that is, and I'm sure it differs based on what niche you're in. So if you try promoted pins and you try promoting some products, you might find some success where you're able to make a profit off of running different Pinterest ads. Pinterest pins, promoted pins, they blend right into the search results. So let's go back over here now and just type in an example. So if I type in golf practice, we'll see what pins pop up. You're going to see a mix of normal pins here. So these are different ones that normal accounts have just pinned organically. But as we keep scrolling here, we're going to see a couple different sponsored pins. So for example, if it's got a tag on it, that's going to let you know it's a product pin. As you hover it here, it even comes up and says product pin on the screen. So that little tag right there, that lets you know you're clicking through to a product page where you can find out if that product's for you and purchase it. So that's another cool feature. If you're uploading product pins to your profile, they'll be able to be found in search, and people will be able to know that they're product pins based on that. So as we scroll here, I haven't seen any yet, but normally you're going to notice in the little description here, it'll say promoted by, and that's how you're going to be able to tell that it's a promoted pin. It could be that I'm not seeing any because it's the golf niche and there might not be a lot of golf advertisers yet on Pinterest trying to promote golf products. So if we go ahead into the fitness niche, for example, we'll type in fitness tips and see if any promoted pins come up. Normally they do show up, I was going to say, in the second position right here. So normally when you type a search term in, you'll see whoever ranks number 1 in the very first position, and then the second position is normally a promoted pin, and that's the case here. We can see it says promoted by HelloFresh. So we can click through and look at their pin. Now, you don't really know it's a promoted pin unless you're looking carefully. So that's one of the things I like about this new updated Pinterest, is that yes, they are running ads just like you have on Facebook and Instagram these days. However, Pinterest are less obtrusive. You don't actually recognize that it's, you know, an ad unless you look closely to see the promoted by text down here. All right, so that's where you can see some of your most popular pins in the last 30 days, which it's showing me right here. So these are the ones that it's suggesting that I could promote if I want to continue to expand the reach and expand the number of clicks, which is this little arrow here, and then saves is represented by the little pin symbol. So continuing to scroll down, we've got the latest pins, so I can see which pins from my profile have been saved, as well as pins that other people are saving from my website. And I can see how they're doing. So one of the new updated features in 2019 is that underneath every pin now that I've uploaded myself, I can actually see analytics. So this is super helpful. So I can see how many people have seen the pin, how many people have saved it, and how many have clicked through to my website or my blog post. So as we scroll here, you can see some of my more recent pins obviously haven't reached a lot of people yet, haven't got clicked on yet because they're brand new. But as we scroll down here, we're going to see more and more pins that were pinned a couple days ago that have had time now to reach a couple hundred people, or, you know, in this case, 1,000 people. And we can see how they're performing based on the saves and clicks metrics. And that's going to give you good feedback so that you can go in and create similar pins that, you know, whatever, if you try different designs, like in this case, you could see here, this one from nickfoygolf.com is a completely different design than this pin from Nick Foy Golf that's got the blue banner at the bottom. So you want to always test a couple different pin styles. You want them to look professional. You want to use big text that really stands out. And then you want to use popping colors that will attract people's eyes. And I like to label my website at the bottom so that if people try stealing your pins, which is going to happen quite often, at least some people are going to be smart enough to realize, hey, that pin was supposed to take me to nickfoygolf.com, and instead it took me to some other website. So they'll be able to, you know, determine that it's a spammy pin. Or in some cases, I'll see other people stealing my pins where they're linking their own website. If I just hover it, I can quickly see the URL and see that it goes to their website, and I'm able to then click on those pins and report them to Pinterest, trying to get them removed, which unfortunately it happens so often that I really don't even do it anymore because it's just too hard to keep up with how many people have stolen my pin images and reused them by uploading them manually and inserting their own URLs to them. So it's unfortunate, but until Pinterest gets better at filtering out spam, you got to just live with it. All right, so continuing down here, we've got latest boards at the very bottom where you can see the pins that have gone out to the most recent boards. And then we've got recent activity. So this is the section where you can see pins that people are saving from your claimed website and linked accounts. So up here where it said latest pins, these were pins that I've manually pinned to my profile myself, and that's why they have analytics under them. Now, pins that other people are saving, that shows up over here. So this can give you a good idea to review, to see what kinds of content people are attracted to. So in this case, I can look and see that, you know, people are saving about the golf swing, about exercise, chipping drills, and you might be able to notice some common themes. So again, another exercise pin, another golf swing pin, and that's going to help you learn what kind of topics your audience is most interested in, and you can try to upload more pins similar to that type of content. All right, so that's just the overview tab where you get a quick summary of what's going on your profile. You can scroll there, analyze everything, and kind of get a better idea of what's working and what's not working on Pinterest. Next, we've got the boards tab. So this is just going to be all your different boards. You can drag them around to rearrange them. Typically, you want your best boards to show up first on your profile. So I've got my website board where I pin all of my blog article pins that people can click in here and they can read different blog articles. And then I've got some group boards that I'm a member of. Group boards are a great way to grow your reach quicker because everybody contributing to this board, they all have lots of followers following this board. So it's a way to get your pins in front of lots of people that are not following you, but they're following the other contributors to that group board. And that's how you're going to get more exposure faster. I've also experimented with this board called Best Golf Pins. It's where I've found my best performing pins, and I've re-uploaded them again with a fresh pin and a fresh link to that particular blog post. And this is actually one of my top performing boards again. So as you can see, it does work that repinning your best pins will help your profile grow faster, because that seems to be the best content people are most interested in. Now, rather than repinning it from another board to this board, it's better to do fresh content. So that means uploading a fresh pin, so using the create a pin tab. So what I would do is, if I found that, for example, this golf drills to practice like the pros pin, if this one was doing really well, which it is, it's got 3,000 views, 35 clicks, then I would click into it and I would just right click on it and save this image to my computer. And then I would be able to come back here and click the create a pin tab, and I'd be able to upload that image from my computer. And then I would also go back here and look at what URL it was taking them to. So I'd open up that URL, and that would be the one that I would copy paste here into the URL bar. And that would be a way to upload a brand new fresh pin, rather than just clicking this one and clicking it to a new board, repinning it. It's better that you upload new fresh content. Alright, so these are all my top pins from other boards. So I've gone ahead and re-uploaded them to this board to see if they still continue to do well. And as you can see here, looking at the numbers, 8,000 views, 380 clicks, 800 views. A lot of these are doing really well. 54,000 views, 770 clicks. So this is probably one of my best performing pins on my entire profile. So I can just kind of keep track of what my best pins are. That's kind of why I created this board. As when I'm in my analytics on the back end, I'm looking at what my top pins are all time. I find out what boards they're pinned to, and I'll go to those boards, save those pins, and I'll re-upload them again here to this new board to try to get them even more exposure, so that I get continued reach and continued clicks through to my website. So that's a little tip and strategy we'll dive more into later when we get into our video on my YouTube channel about how to grow your traffic in 2019. Alright, let's go back out here now to the pins tab. So this is just going to list all your pins in the order that you've been pinning them. So I can see I've got scheduled pins up here, which is a feature you can use, or you can use a pin scheduler like Tailwind. I do a combination of both. So if you manually upload a pin, click create a pin. When you get done adding all your information, you can click this publish at a later date tab right here, and it'll let you pick a day and time to pin. So I've been doing that with some of my pins to check it out and see how it works. So you can see I've got 5 more that are scheduled to go out in the next couple of days. And then as we scroll down here, we can see all current published pins. So these ones at the top were just recently published today. So these are the most recent. As you scroll down, these are going to be pins that were published yesterday or the day before. And as we scroll down, these are going to be pins that were published weeks ago and months ago as we keep scrolling. So it's in chronological order of when you pinned them. And again, you've got the analytics underneath. So if you notice, this one doesn't have analytics, but this one does have analytics. It's because this was one that I uploaded on my own to my profile. This was one that I probably repinned that came from another pinner that wasn't me. Or it could be that it also links to a different website, foygolfacademy.com, which is my store website, whereas these ones are linking to my blog. So since I've only verified my blog website with this particular profile, then I don't get analytics for my store website URL. I'd have to have a separate Pinterest profile for that and link that website to that Pinterest account in order to see analytics for this domain name. So that's one thing you'll notice here. If you're seeing analytics under certain pins and not under others, it's probably because you didn't originate the pin, or it doesn't have anything to do with your website. One of those two reasons. But as you can see here, pretty much my profile at this point has gained authority with Pinterest. So whenever I upload a golf pin, it usually tends to do pretty well. These are all getting thousands and hundreds of views, and they're all getting hundreds of clicks. So it's just a matter of time that uploading lots and lots of pins that all start to take off in Pinterest, and the more pins I upload, the better my traffic seems to be. So that's another tip we're going to get more into in another video, is you want to have a high volume of pins that you upload every day. So I try to upload between 15 to 30 new pins per day. Alright, tries. This is going to be pins that you tried. So again, this doesn't apply to most people, but if you were on like a recipe board and you actually tried a recipe, you could snap a photo of your food that you prepared and you could upload that photo. For example, it even mentions recipes here. I was just doing that as an example, but you can see here that they talk about recipes or places you've traveled. So you just upload photos to prove that you tried a certain pin. Let's go on to the activity tab next. So these are going to be the pins people saved from your website. So again, this gives you a deeper look at all the pins that people are saving so that you can kind of get an idea of what kind of content people seem to gravitate towards the most. And you can see how these particular pins are doing analytics-wise that these people are saving from your website. So whenever these people have uploaded these pins or they've saved them, you can review the analytics to see how well they're reaching, how well their clicks, and that can give you an idea as well if it's worthy of repinning as fresh content where you would save it and upload it as a fresh manual pin again using the Create a Pin tab. All right, last we've got followers and following. That's pretty straightforward. These are just your tabs showing you everybody you're following and everybody that's following you. So right now I've got about 2,800 followers, and if you have access to Tailwind, you can actually monitor your follower growth, which is a cool feature. All you got to do is go over here to a new tab, and if you want to use my affiliate link to help me get credit for sending you to Tailwind, you can do so. I'm compensated by Tailwind. It doesn't cost you anything extra. It just helps me earn some extra affiliate income. You would just type in this URL here, asknickfoy.com/tailwind, and it's just like it sounds, T-A-I-L, tail, W-I-N-D for wind. And what that is it's a I'll actually click through to it. It's a program that's a Pinterest scheduling tool. So you can sign up with Instagram or Pinterest. We'd click sign up. They offer a free trial, and I believe it's like $10 a month after that. So I usually pay up front for the annual. So I pay $120 a year to get access, but it's a scheduling tool, and it lets you save a bunch of pins when you're typing in different things in the search feed. If you found all these pins useful, but you didn't want to pin them all right now, you could just click on the little Tailwind extension that you could download. So Google's got their own Tailwind extension. It would show up here on the image. You'd click on it. It would open up your Tailwind account where you could save it as a draft. Later, you could go back here into Tailwind and you could actually schedule those pins that you just saved as drafts so that they'll get scheduled to your boards and they'll auto-publish them for you depending on what time slots you select. It's just a helpful tool so that you don't have to manually log into your account every day and try to manually pin 15 to 30 pins a day. Since it's a high volume amount of pinning, it helps to use the aid of a scheduling tool. Well, that's going to wrap up today's video. I think we've covered some more advanced topics. I was trying to just go over the basics of the profile, but I ended up going into a couple more advanced topics today than I had planned. But we're also still going to create separate videos on those topics as well. So make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel so you don't miss those. We're going to be covering more about tips to get your pins showing up in the search results. That's known as search engine optimization, SEO. We're going to be covering a couple videos on how to grow your Pinterest traffic so that you can reach, hundreds of thousands of monthly viewers on Pinterest and get thousands of clicks back to your website like I'm getting. And we're going to cover the analytics side of things, so we can go into these analytics tabs, and I'm going to make a separate video running through the numbers and how to analyze things and how to figure out what's working and what's not working so that you can do more of what's working. So thanks so much for watching today's video. Again, if it found value, please help me out, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel so that you do not miss our latest uploads covering Pinterest topics. And if you want to check out my website, asknickfoy.com, you can find marketing topics on there as well. They're in blog post format, whereas my YouTube channel are tutorials and videos, depending on which style you like better for learning. Thanks for being here. I'll see you guys soon.